Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute. Actually, it's been about 240 days since my last video, so if you're still here with me, thank you so much. Today, I just wanted to sit down, hang out, and walk through this digital painting that I've been working on, and also share what I've been up to while I've been away. So, where have I been? Honestly, life, family, and a whole lot of other creative projects. One big thing was my digital shop, Black Cerise Design Studio, where I create digital mandala art and clip art. That shop has been my experiment in turning my designs into passive income. And if you've ever run an Etsy shop, you know that it's never really passive. And on top of that, I started another Etsy shop called Sugar Bite Studio, which is all about creating digital goodies for Twitch streamers and VTubers. Things like sub badges, overlays, PNG tubers, and other cute digital assets. So while I haven't been here on YouTube drawing, I've been drawing a ton behind the scenes. This piece is special because it's my return to more personal art, something that's just for me, to remember why I love to draw. I've always loved geisha imagery because of the elegance, the colors, the details in the hair, and the kimonos. It's just so calming to look at for me. So for this piece, I collected a reference from Pinterest, and I'm pretty sure you'll find it amongst the thousands of references on my board. And I've also watched a lot of YouTube videos on cell shading, which is something I've always wanted to improve on because I usually just paint soft and blendy, but for this one, I wanted to push myself to keep the shadows crisp and clean. And if I can find the YouTube videos, I'll try to insert them right here. The first video that I watched is How to Cell Shade, Avoid These Common Mistakes by Winged Canvas, and the video is 9 minutes and 22 seconds. The second video I watched is How to Color Your Drawings Using Cell Shading by Mark Bernay, and this video is 10 minutes. Hope it helps. This entire piece was done in Procreate. She is my tool of choice for a majority of the pieces that I work on. Only a one-time fee of $9.99. You will never regret it. So the first thing I did was I started off with a loose sketch and then refined it over time using things like the eraser brush and the liquify tool to push the lines around where I felt like they didn't quite match the Pinterest reference photo. So, what was the hardest part of this piece, you might ask? Believe it or not, it was the eyes. For some reason, I could not get the eyes symmetrical to save my life. One eye ended up being bigger than the other. Sometimes I would draw the eye perfectly, but they were not on the same level. So in the end, what I did was I copied the perfect eye, selected it, and pasted it onto a new layer. Then after I pasted it to the new layer, I flipped it horizontal and put it into place, and then boom. Perfect symmetrical eyes. The only downside with doing that is when you copy and paste line art to a new layer, it becomes a little fuzzy and pixelated and not as crisp as your other line art. So to remedy this, you're either going to have to go in with the eraser tool and clean it up to make it look as crisp as possible, or just lower the opacity and then go in and redraw over it so that it looks just as good as the other line art in your piece. have a love-hate relationship with my line art. I usually can't stand it because the line art usually loses the looseness and the life force of the sketch I was trying to convey. But with this particular piece, I actually love the line art so much. I just wanted to stop right there and just leave it as it is. But in a portfolio, it's not full of line art. Your portfolio has to be filled with finished pieces. So I was forced to not stop and keep going, which I was really sad about. I kind of wanted to keep it as like a coloring page, and once I finish up this section here, I'll try to give you a peek of how it looks with the sketch turned off and how really crisp and nice it looks as a potential coloring page. So for the color side of this piece, I was inspired to create this specifically from this photo here. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. You see how it probably has only used 4 colors max? I think this is brilliant. I mean, look at it. The primary color is of course yellow. There's some whites in here, maybe some grays and black. So that inspired me to make this piece, to force myself to not go color crazy, trying to figure out which color goes good with this color and, you know, what will make this piece pop. I was just like, I'm just gonna use 4 colors max and force myself and challenge myself to not go overboard. So for this piece, I used red, of course, for the hair, a very, very dark gray, not quite true black for the clothing, very, very light gray for the skin, and of course I used the blue for the eyes to really pop against that vibrant red hair. While we're on the subject of coloring, I've seen a lot of artists talk about their workflows and how they like to preserve the lifespan of their nibs on their Apple pencils and stylus by outlining the art with a lasso tool or coloring the outline of the area that they want to color and then using the eyedropper tool in Procreate and filling the space. But for me, I find coloring by hand soothing, and I know that it shortens the lifespan of your nib, but that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to take. And part of my art process that I will never change because I love it so much. But let me know how you guys color in the comments down below. I'd love to read what you guys have to say. There's no better time than now than to ask you guys out there watching this video to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with an art friend who would appreciate art like this. For those of you out there already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for your support. And at the time of recording this video, we are 424 subscribers strong, 76 away from that 500 subscriber goal milestone that I have for this year. And once we reach there, I'm definitely going to have a 500 subscriber giveaway. I already have the prize already in my possession, and I can't wait to give it to that lucky subscriber out there. So that right there is a great motivation to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell, and stay tuned for all channel updates. The best thing that you can do for an art piece is to give it a lighting scenario. This is important because it gives your piece depth and turns something that is very 2D into something more 3D. I'm not the best at lighting, to be honest. So what I did for this was I just used the lighting that was in the Pinterest reference, and I tried to emulate it with the skills that I had as much as humanly possible. So when you're actually doing the lighting, you do it like any other thing in your digital painting. You see a shape under the hair that looks like a curved rectangle. You try to replicate that curved rectangle under the hair on your digital painting, and so on and so forth. And the more you replicate those shapes and refine them as you go, your painting starts to come to life and become less 2D and more 3D in dimension. Now, the part that gave me the most trouble was the nose. Like in the sketch part of the drawing, I gave it more of a 3D spear looking shape, and I lost that in the line art. So my problem was trying to make the nose look spherical and 3D in my digital painting, just like the reference photo, and I had a really hard time replicating that. So I would say, aside from the eyes, that nose was a bit troublesome, but I did the best that I could, and I will work on that in future paintings. The third hardest thing to color for me is always the hair. It doesn't matter if I color it strand by strand or if I put the shadows on one layer and the hair shine on another. It just doesn't quite match the realism of the Pinterest reference photo. And I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong. So if there are any pros out there that are watching this video that know exactly what I'm doing wrong, or if you even have any tips that make the process easier, drop them in the comments down below, because critiques help artists and I need the help because I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I would love to read your comments. While I was talking to my sister while recording this video, she realized that I'm missing a very important aspect of character design as an aspiring character designer. And that is, what is the story behind your character? So because our geisha is, of course, Japanese, I'm naming her Guren, which is Red Lotus in Japanese. And she is a fierce spirit warrior from the spirit realm. So how did Guren become a spirit in the spirit realm? Well, her story is very tragic. She was betrayed by the man she loved for a second chance at life and turned into the opposing forces, where she fought hundreds of men to her demise and became a folk hero in life and an honored warrior in the spirit world. Women in this fictional world can call upon Guren's spirit during battle, where she will infuse herself with your body and you will gain her strength and her knowledge of battle. Not just any woman can call on Guren. Like, you have to have a good heart, and the battle you are fighting must be a just battle or a fight for good. Also, people that call upon the Guren spirit must also leave her gifts annually on her birthday. Without following any of these rules, you can call on her all you want, and she will not show. Guren carries 2 samurai swords on each hip and is a double sword wielder. She learned the arts from an elderly retired samurai who, after retirement, decided to own a farm. Guren spent many years training with the samurai farmer so much so that she advanced to a level where she could no longer learn anything from the man, so he sent her out into the world to do good. After years of doing noble deeds for different villages, she stumbles upon a village that is being terrorized by a very wealthy, powerful tyrant named Daisuke. While Gurren is visiting the village, Daisuke raids the village with 20 of his men to steal money, treasures, and anything that he finds expensive for his own personal nefarious purposes. Gurren is able to single-handedly defeat all 20 men and Daisuke by herself. This infuriates Daisuke to no end, and he vows to return to the village in 30 days with tenfold the men that he brought that day. The villagers, of course, are scared and concerned and plead with Gurren to find an army to help them defeat Daisuke once and for all. It takes Gurren some time, but she finds 7 of the best warriors, one of which is Toma, who she falls in love with. So when Daisuke returns, they fend off all the warriors and save the village, and everything is sweet for a time. The defeat inspires Daisuke to find some of the best assassins in the world and manages to convince Toma to turn in Gurren in order to save his life and the villagers. And since I told the story backwards, you already know what happens to Gurren. If you like the story, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, this entire piece from start to finish took me 2 hours and 57 minutes over a 3 to 4 day period, given work and family obligations. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together as much as I enjoyed making it. As far as this channel goes, I'm planning to upload more regularly, mixing personal art projects like this with behind the scenes, as well as other bigger projects. So what are those bigger projects? The biggest project for the channel will be for me to finally sit down in big 2025 and make an art portfolio. I would love to have an art related job at some point, and you can't do that in the industry without having a polished portfolio. So the next few videos that I want to make will be art pieces that I will create that will hopefully end up being showcases for that portfolio. Other videos that I would like to create entail me trying out new art techniques that will essentially give me a better workflow, help me to draw quicker, and help me learn how to make better art pieces. So stay tuned for those coming soon. And of course, I haven't forgot about you subscribers out there that came here to this channel specifically for my concept art reviews of gacha games. I will still be doing those as well. So between the concept art reviews, the portfolio projects, the personal art, and the tutorials to make my arts better, you will have plenty of content to consume on this channel. So thanks again for spending this time with me. It means a lot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.